Good morning and good afternoon, good evening to everybody out there in Cyberland who is joining and clicking into this conversation that we have here with this gorgeous guest we have today, this deeply connected, beautiful man, Nicky Hamid. So welcome, Nicky.
Thank you, Mandy. Thank you, Janine.
Welcome, Nicky.
Absolutely welcome. And Janine, I'll pass it on to you to introduce Nicky to everyone. Thank you.
My pleasure. So who is this Nicky fellow? Born just outside London with bombs raining from the skies during the World War II Blitz, Nicky comes from a large family with both parents working class, well-read and aware, and very liberal freedom thinkers. He and his family immigrated to New Zealand when he was just 9 years old. Nicky walked with the Ascended Masters throughout his early life and has never lost touch with his childhood innocence and knowing of his connection to Holy Spirit. He has been dyslexic all his life, especially with reading and writing, but didn't let that stop him achieving a master's and PhD in psychology and teaching at universities for 40 years, especially in areas such as self-awareness and social and spiritual psychology, while maintaining a spiritual mentoring practice with clients around the world. He has conducted awareness workshops and spiritual retreats in New Zealand, Australia, UK, USA, India, and China, and has been dubbed by his colleagues and students as the Professor of Happiness. He has posted his own writings twice a day on Facebook for over 12 years now and written several books available on Amazon. His latest book was in September 2021 and is titled Humanity Rising, a journey from fear and control to love and freedom. He has a new book, which is coming out this month of June, titled Beautiful Human Being. And in December this year, his second book for 2022 is due out, titled A New Look at Relationships. Nicky has flown under the radar, so to speak, following his heart, never losing sight of the fact that there is God's magnificent divine plan. And we as humans will thrive as soul beings in embodiment. The time is now to choose our future. All we have to do is fall totally in love with who we are and turn our light on.
I know, I'm going to do that too.
Yeah, so beautiful. Thank you, Nicky. So beautiful. So let us start our time together today by coming into this now moment on the global level. Nicky, would you speak into this time now and through your deep awareness, share with us your view of what is happening in our world and our reality right now? It's a broad question, I know, but so what everybody wants to hear.
Thank you, Janine. I'd love to. I'm in love with humanity. I'm in love with this life. And like everyone else, I have had my ups and downs, and that is why we were here, to be challenged, to always choose to switch our light on, because we are light and we are love, and God's plan, or the plan of Source, is a mighty one, and no one knows, not even the masters, how it pans out. And so I'm like, when I say about I still have my childhood innocence, like coming on this call, I was, people say nervous, but I say excited. I was excited because, why? Because my passion is to be in connection with everyone here on this planet, in this life, because this life is really, really special. We all heard the call and we all came, and we didn't know what we were in for at the lower level, but at the soul level we knew. And it's about bringing that soul level back. So I would like to do a little activation, if we do, to start with, for everyone who is in attendance and who will attend, because let's put us in a place within ourselves where we can be open, because I found I used to, when I've been doing public lectures, after the lecture, people would come up and thank me or argue with me or whatever. But one of the things I found so often is people would say something like, I loved it when you said such and such. And I never said it. I never said it. Because people come for what they need, and they get what they need if they're open.
Yes.
So I'm saying that whatever we talk about here, whatever we do here, to any of you, it may be very different what you get, but if you're open, you will get what you need.
Yes.
That's how beautiful it all works. So let's go to a place, and I ask you, everyone, to close your eyes and take a couple of slow, gentle, deep breaths. If you breathe it in through your nose and blow it gently, slowly out with your mouth. And this relaxes the body. It relaxes the mind. And in that relaxation, your team, your company of heaven, which every one of you have, comes in closer. It's like a call. I'm relaxed, I'm open, I'm ready. And they come in. Now, whatever you experience, they will feed it. If you allow yourself to be like a child and pretend or imagine, you let your imagination go. And they feed your imagination. So let us imagine that you're standing in a field, and there's a field of green grass, that lush green grass of spring. It's about somewhere between 6 and 12 inches high, and there's green everywhere. As far as you can see, there's this green field. And the sky's that beautiful translucent blue of a sunshine day. And you feel the sun above your head, just slightly behind you. Feel that warmth of the sun streaming in through into your body. And there you are, standing on this great green field with that blue, beautiful blue, light blue, translucent sky. And you begin to walk along the grass. And as you do, and you look in front of you, the grass field starts to rise. And you notice that there's this quite high hill in front of you that slopes gently to the valley below. And you're walking in the grass, and you slowly walk up this hill, up and up, through the green grass and the green of the hill, with a blue sky and the sun shining down on the back of your head. It feels like the sun is very close. In fact, it's about 18 inches above your head, just behind your head. And you go back and reach up as you climb the hill of green grass. And you start to merge with that sun, 18 inches above your head. In other words, you get taller as you climb the hill. And you climb easily, your breath relaxed. as you go up and up the hill. And now you get to the top of the hill. And out in front of you is this vast plain with a horizon. And you see the sea in the distance. And it's magnificent. And there you are, this tall being, now 6, 8 feet tall. And you feel this relaxed feeling of oneness with everything, and that feeling of expanding as you look out at the horizon. And now you turn full circle, 180 degrees, and look down the green slopes into the valleys, into the town or city, wherever you live. You're looking back at where you were when you began this little journey. And you look down with love and peace and absolute gratitude for the knowing where you are, where you have been, and the great possibilities of where you are going. And open your eyes. Open your eyes and look at the room you're in or wherever you are. It's a movie. It's a movie. And you are home. Home is the hunter, home from the hill. From the sea, home is the sailor, home from the sea, and the hunter home from the hill. You're home. You're in soul being. And this is the movie. You created, you create, and you choose to be. And it's all a movie, an amazing movie. And you are soul being at home in self. And you can go to the top of that hill any moment you choose. And you'll see it in any way. But you're home and you're here now. And so it is.
Beautiful.
It's a movie.
It is.
And we see this movie, and you have to be blind not to see what's going on in the world. It's all a movie.
Yep.
It's playing out. We've been in shadow human beings have been in shadow for a long, long time. And now the shadow arises. It arises because it's leaving.
Yeah.
Every piece of it. So the pieces you're given in your reality are the pieces that you alchemize. You alchemize through your love, through your knowing. And so you must take your knowing. You must go to the top of the hill and see it for what it is and allow it to be what it is. Then you don't maintain what it was given as an appearance, as a shadow. We each chose it.
We did it.
And so listen to the mass media and see, we should call it lies, but see it as the movie being projected by others on the screen. It's not your movie. It's a piece of the movie that you're seeing to understand. And we are building a new world. We are building the world of the golden age. And so it behooves us to make a move, to the change we wish to see.
Mm.
And no move is too small. Some are activists who want to fight the good fight. Some are very practical and want to build something. Some are very arty and want to create something.
Mm.
Some just want to enjoy their garden and build their relationship to Earth and Mother Nature. Some, but every one of us are to become doers of what we wish to create.
Mm.
And New Age light workers, I say it's an excuse to say, I don't know what my passion is. You've already got your passion. You came here to bring more light. So you bring more light by taking in more light, by
Yes.
making these choices for love and light.
Mm.
Seeing shadow for what it is and saying, poof, poof to it. It's a movie. It's a movie. I can change this movie. I can change this movie by enacting or acting and connecting and building a different relationship to what is.
Mm.
I mean, this whole myth of what global warming and things like plastic, just using an example, plastic and how it's polluting our environment.
Mm.
But plastic is part of nature. It might be man-made, but it was first given as something for man to deal with.
Mm.
So as long as you think of it as something toxic, as something that is being done by others, then we give it power.
Yeah.
If there's a big thing in your life, the whole thing about plastic, then do something about it. You can pick it up. You can have a look on YouTube and see all the uses that plastic bottles can be made of.
Mm-hmm.
You can be aware that you don't drink water out of old plastic because it gives off chemicals, and we're being poisoned by the shadows of the old movie all along the way. There are ways and means and herbs and natural products that can help us detoxify.
Yeah.
But we don't need to make a big deal of it. We do our own research and we get a feel for what we're doing. Let me give an example. I've been a home gardener for a long, long time. And why? Because I love doing it. I get such a feel from growing things to eat. Glenn, my better half, my other half, loves the flowers and the cacti and the succulents and things like that. And that's where she gets her greatest feeling. But it's the truth is in the relationship that you develop when you're working, when you're with these plants, that you build a relationship up. So there are plants available in our natural world that have ancient knowledge about their healing properties, for example, the ability to detoxify the body. So if you've had this, stop bemoaning your decision. And if you want to do something about it, have a look at what's available. I'll just mention two things, but there are many, many, and there are many, many herbs we have. There are two things that are extremely valuable to us, whether we've had this or not. And one is black seed. It's Indian, again, or Asian, and the other is moringa. Amazing plants that you can grow yourself. and build that relationship. But you can research and understand them. There are herbs that we have ourselves in my own lawn. I have plantain, dandelion. You've got comfrey and echinacea, all sorts of things we can grow. You can grow in a pot if you're in
Suburbia.
Yes, suburbia.
Yeah.
You can grow moringa in a pot. And just do your search. Have a look at what moringa will do. Apart from detoxifying, what else it can provide for the body. But it's not doing it because of the fear of what's happened.
No.
It's learning to love the relationship you're building as you plant something and nurture it, the relationship you're building to nature. It's a relationship to things. The same with how do we change the system on our planet? You change by now opening to others what others have to offer. And the fact that you, even if you don't know your purpose, you have things to offer. You can see somebody, some community doing something, and you can contribute to it, even if it is making sandwiches for someone else who's doing the work.
Yes.
That's as big as being one of the organizers of such a movement. Movements towards change, devolution of power, of support for community.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of light workers sitting on their bum, waiting for the Messiah. Not the Messiah, but someone to change, white hats or whomever.
Yeah.
You know, that's not how we're going to build the new earth.
No.
We build the new earth by our single effort, the belief in our own power for change. To switch our light on and do something. And I tell you, if you do something, I mean, I could see the light in others who have none of this so-called spiritual knowledge, but are offering their services in practice to build something new. What we say, the community spirit. And that gives them meaning and identity. And it can be in the simplest things, in the simplest actions. So we change things by being an example. Love in action. And the internet is one thing, but being out there on the ground is another.
Yeah.
And so in a way, we have to learn to immerse ourselves in the presence of shadow and shake it off.
Yes.
Because it does affect us.
Yeah.
And you can be as spiritual as you like, but shadow is very cunning. It can jump into you anytime. I can walk into the mall and I love doing it, just seeing the people and being present with them. But I can come out and sit in the car and Glenn says something and it niggles me.
Yeah.
Now I know when it niggles me, shadows jumped into my field in some way or other.
Yeah.
And I can't always see what it is. So I'm not a saint or master unto myself and I can do everything because I can't. I'm human also. And human doesn't see and doesn't feel everything. This is where our company of heaven comes in. We call in the big guys, as it were. And those who can see in our auric field exactly where the shadow is. So we ask for help. We do not have to do this on our own anymore.
No.
We've developed a degree of our mastery. We know when things don't feel right. When you have a doubt, when you suddenly start doubting yourself, it's not you, it's shadow that's entered your field and is touching a wound.
Yep.
This is how we get into self-doubt. You wonder sometimes, well, why do I keep thinking this? It's not you. But we cannot see exactly where it is or what it is. But your spirit surgeons or your spirit mentors or whomever you call on, because there's all kinds of spirit help available.
Yep.
They need your permission in that moment. The sooner you get it, and the sooner you feel something that's awry, and you ask for help, the quicker the help can come. And like that, your doubt goes. Like that, my niggle for Glenn goes.
Yep.
And vice versa. She can have a niggle with me. And it's not her.
Yeah.
It's somebody playing with her. So it's like a relationship there as we build a relationship with Earth and a relationship to ourselves, loving who we are. That's the relationship. It's a relationship with our hierarchy.
Yeah.
And that hierarchy is vast.
It is.
Beyond the masters, beyond the Elohim, into those who've created these worlds.
Yep.
And those who create universes, and those who oversee the creation of universes, and so on, way beyond their understanding. Because we say God, source, is infinite. So light goes higher and higher and higher. Love goes higher and higher, subtler and subtler, wider and wider, deeper and deeper. The human love we have is just, I don't say nothing, but it's so far beyond that. And as we tune into the subtle, we also tune into the ability to spot the subtle, the shadow coming in, and getting it quicker and quicker.
Yeah.
But we need help with this.
Yeah, we do.
So we could always call for help.
And I was going to say, it certainly got very heavy in the last couple of years, didn't it? You know, it's like
Absolutely.
cleaning out, clearing out.
But the thing is, you see, that for me, I see that there's this great plan. And all the time, the shit has been rising to hit the fan.
Yep.
And it has, well and truly. We have had others rising in their own knowing and developing
Absolutely.
their sense of power, their sense of connection in all walks of life, at all levels of understanding. And this is where the new community comes from. There's going to be a lot of people who start by preparing sandwiches and will end up in totally different places because this will give them the confidence, and so they will find a place. But that place is in that flow, and that is coming, that is rising, and you see it in various teachers and so on, speakers. They're coming from all levels and all areas of understanding. So it's all there. The solutions and the resolution is all there, but we get to experience it together, step by step.
Yeah.
I see it now, Nicky, as the shadow is right in our face now, as it's coming at us in all directions at exactly the same time, and because of that, our light is rising within us, in ourselves, brighter and stronger than it's ever done before, to meet that shadow and then to draw it in and change it to the light within us all.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yes, and it's all about choice.
Yeah,
Choice in the moment. This is facing me. This is not what I want. This is what I want. As soon as you say, this is what I want, and this is what I aim for, you're making a choice light on as opposed to light off.
yes,
That's right.
The other thing is we can't bemoan shadow, because it's like initially shadow was given to us. We were given free will, and free will means choice.
Mm.
So you must have a choice. So shadow is, if you like, a non-vibration place in which there's neither light nor dark. So shadow is not negative.
Yeah.
Shadow is the place of opportunity. What happened was that shadow got hijacked by the dark.
Mm.
And so its program is here. But that has given us the opportunity to fall and then pull ourselves out. So we really, really, really get to know what it's like, what's possible in density. And that is why Earth is such an amazing place, because we fall and we have to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, not just as individuals, but as a whole.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I hear often people who have been jabbed and jabbed frequently and don't appear to be wake up. They talk about the woke and the normies in a rather derogatory way. But they're all having their place. They're all part of this rising. So as we take our courage to get involved with the change, with the knowing we each have in our own way, but learning to share and being able to be in the presence of many points of view, which are not necessarily our own, but see the possibilities.
Yeah.
Because we begin to see the passion in people. I mean, I have a neighbor next door. He does lawns. I wouldn't speak any spiritual stuff with him, but we have conversations, and he has such goodwill for other people.
Yeah.
Rough as guts, but he's a beautiful soul, although he doesn't recognize it. And I see the spirit everywhere. In New Zealand, you know, the DIY and the number 8 wire mentality, we have a tremendous capacity. But as you and I know, when you have clients come, only 2 things they want. They want to be seen and they want to feel love.
Absolutely.
Common denominator.
Yeah.
Well, so does everybody.
Yeah.
So if you're working amongst them, encouraging them, it's huge, and it makes a huge difference to the whole. You could see how this whole thing could take off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is taking off.
Yes, yeah. I've seen, I don't know, have you come across One Town?
I've heard of it.
Called
I've
One
heard
Town,
it too.
Ubuntu. It's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it's providing a practical basis. Only one. There are many others of it, where people can start right from a small town, especially in New Zealand. We have so many small towns where a whole economy can be developed by the simple principle of people getting together and offering what they have. Now, a lot of people don't know what they have and say, I don't have anything to offer. And the only thing they need in this is to offer 3 hours a week.
Right.
If you have 1,000 people offering 3 hours a week, you have 3,000 hours of labor to anybody who wants to start a project in that town.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of help there is in this One Town movement. But it's just one idea of what's possible, what we can do.
Beautiful.
Coming back to the simple way of life.
Yeah, yes, it is, because the simple way of life, like the relationship to a plant, is huge,
Yeah.
because this is an empowerment, but it takes you over in a sense, because you're tapping in to the flow,
Yes.
which we're part of. And so we grow. So if I was to say one thing we could do practically is develop a relationship, whatever it is, with self,
Yes.
with community, with a neighbor, with plants, with anything, and not causes ourselves in our meditation and just feel fulfilled for a time.
No.
It's not enough for that anymore.
No.
I'm not saying, I'm not putting down meditation.
No.
I'm not putting down all the preparation. We've had to do it. We've had to pull ourselves up, a significant number of us, to be able to make that energy available for everyone. But it is now much quicker for them than it was for us. We
Yes.
prepared the way.
Yes.
Wow. Give yourself a pat on the back, and now we're on. It's about stepping out now.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So beautiful. Such a beautiful flow of energy in the last 40 minutes of you, as you've been speaking, Nicky, and just bringing us back into the heart of ourself while we listen to your very practical, very logical advice, but it's so wholesome, so worldly, and comes from that very deep place within you. So it's like hearing you multidimensionally as you speak. And
That's because you are, darling.
Yes.
Yeah, if you weren't that, you wouldn't hear it that way. And it's exactly like everyone who's here will get something they want, even if it's something they disagree with, that will help them with something they want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we all have this longing. We know that there's something beautiful from God. And to know that, we have to know that we are someone beautiful from God.
How gorgeous.
And way back in the 1960s, I used to read the paper and listen to the TV, although I was a student and we didn't have TV always in the flats we were in. But it was when JFK was murdered that I was so angry. And I'm not normally an angry person. And I thought, right, you can't get angry over something in the newspaper, even though it represents an event. So I'm not going to read the newspaper anymore. And I'm not going to watch news anymore. And I didn't. I was at university. You heard lots of things, but I didn't engage in it. I got reports of what people were saying in the movie, but I didn't take any notice of it. What I did concentrate on was people who I was in contact with and who they were. And I tell you, in those 40 years, was it 40? Yeah. For 40 years, all I could see, time after time after time, whether I talked to the gardeners or whether I had my clients or whomever, meeting people in the street, I see the indomitability of the human spirit.
Right.
How beautiful. People were trying to do the best with a very tough job. And this is what humanity is about. So I got to see the best.
Yeah.
Rather than hear the worst.
Yes.
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 And that's what gives me my faith. To me, it's not faith, it's longer. To me, it's not hope, it's knowing.
Yes.
I know that this is what humanity is, and this is what's possible, and this is what we're all going to discover. How beautiful it is when you know who you are and you love who you are and you share yourself with the world.
Yes.
However, whether it's with and the sharing comes in some funny ways. I was once sitting on the ground. I make raised beds, no dig gardens, and I have about a foot, raise the garden about a foot, so I can sit on the ground and do weeding, and I was doing it, and I felt this presence, and I tuned into the presence. It was a being from, I think, the Pleiades, and they had 3 or 4 young Pleiadians there, and they were questioning, what's he doing, me groveling in the dirt? So I explained to them, and they marveled at what I was doing. I wasn't saying that we don't know what we do in good faith, in love and joy and relaxation, how it's going to touch another person or being.
Yes,
Quite
yes.
Because we are an example. Earth is a living library for the universe. And we're getting to be fully present in that living library. And we carry in our auric field all the knowing through our experience, through our senses, knowing that other beings and other galaxies, other planets don't have.
Yeah.
And when we realize our love and become the fully compassionate being that we are, we will be emissaries throughout the galaxy, taking the knowledge of this living library that we have had over incarnations to them. And we won't have to speak it because it will be in that auric field, and we will give them permission or not to read it, because we will be the possessors, as it were, of this knowing and feeling.
Yes.
Many of these beings don't have the same feeling that we have.
No.
Because of their, whatever their evolutionary trend is. And we can bring what humanity will know more than anything else is compassion. Compassion for all life.
Yeah.
And it will be in that auric field because we've been there and we've done that. How beautiful is that?
Yeah.
I know, it is beautiful. It is.
And how humbling. It brings tears to my eyes when I say it. Because it is so great, it makes you feel so small, and that smallness is great. It's one of the mysteries.
So, Nicky, you have a new book coming out this very month.
Sorry, it's not. It's got delayed, but
what about to come out? Yeah, called Beautiful Human. I so love that title. That just so makes my heart sing. Would you like to share a little bit about this beautiful human book that's coming out? I mean, what you've been talking about, in the last 40 minutes is kind of been into that topic, of course, but I'd just like to hear a bit about that.
Well, sweetie, the books I write are a little bit different. They're not chapters with topics. I write when I write. If you've seen the Humanity book, Humanity Rising, it's a set of readings which give people the experience themselves, that when they've read the book, they'll feel, yeah, beautiful human, I am.
Yeah.
I am. So it's a book where people can read. I don't suggest they read from cover to cover. I construct the book as 99 readings.
Right.
And you can choose. You can make cards 0 to 9.
Yeah.
Shuffle them and take 2 cards, and they'll tell you what your reading is. or you can just flip the book open and it will tell you, and it gives you, and it's you building a relationship to what's there. So if you read it, you're after beautiful human. So you will get something that will take you in your next step to beautiful human. Because this book is written by me, but it's we.
Yeah.
It's like my postings. I don't know what I'm going to have before I write them. I say, give me something. What do people want to hear?
I
And
love your posting.
That's what determines it. And for a lot of people, it's right on. For others, they may step back from it a bit. The challenges. Yeah.
That's why I love them, Nicky, because you put out these writings that I can feel things sometimes that people just won't want to read, you know, and I love that. You take up topics that others will just probably, you know, go round rather than in.
It's really interesting because I found over a period of anything from 6 months to 2.5, 3 years, people change and start taking on that self-empowerment fully, and then they drop away from my wall, which is great. You know that there is a process going on here. They know
what's necessary.
how to do it.
Yeah.
They know the energetic thing. I know my mind, my little mind, but not much else. I feel a great deal.
Yes.
But it's in the feeling. So the book is like that. So I cannot describe exactly what I can say is, if you use the book, it will give you a feeling of how beautiful you are.
Oh, that's good.
Lovely.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And Humanity Rising is about that, from fear and control to love and what was it? I've forgotten what I called it.
Oh, it's
love and freedom.
Yes.
Love and freedom. Yeah, it tunes you into that, the movement away from and towards.
And isn't that the journey right now?
It is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the choice.
Yeah.
It's all about choice, because the creator beings, this is what they talk about. When they talk about change, they talk about choice.
Yeah.
Because they're not in a free will, they're way beyond free will. But they know, in other words, they even need my permission to come and allow the work, their energy to flow out.
Yes.
Because even they don't break the law of our universe, which is free will. So this is why I say also that your spirit, your company of heaven comes to you to the extent that you freely choose them to come in. And even if you don't feel them, if you've chosen with your heart, they will be present. They're always present. Think of them as a circle of golden beings around you. And one or two or even three stand behind you. They're your present mentors. They don't always say the same. You may have a name for them. I don't have a name for any of the ones who come to me because they're part of a team. The higher we go, the more we meld.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes.
But the authority is the knowing. So when I want to know, I go to someone who knows.
Right. Yeah.
And that's their heart, and that's the hierarchy. The hierarchy is not, that's why spirit never tells you what to do.
No.
If they do tell you what to do, then one can be suspicious.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
yes.
they suggest because that absolute law that it's our choice. This is why we got in so much mess.
It is,
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you were talking about compassion before, Nicky, and I feel that's really where the planet's up to, in a sense. I feel like it's really, there was so much division in these last couple of years and so much judgment around everything that was being done and all of that. And I feel the planet and most of humanity lost their compassion. It just really just flew out the window. And now I feel there's sort of an acceptance, I think, is what it is, that's now starting to actually bring back that compassion to our fellow human beings, that walk this walk with us. And I see that rising and opening up
Yes,
a bit more
yeah,
now,
yeah.
which is lovely to see, because I didn't
That's,
like it
yeah.
before.
Well,
When it wasn't around.
my journey, seeing people and forgetting the play, I mean, I still heard it. I didn't ignore it or bury my head in the sand, but I
No.
didn't give it much energy. Was that people haven't lost their compassion. It's just that it had to be contained.
Absolutely.
Had to be contained because of their fear.
Yeah.
And it's just breaking away from fear, which is crucial. But we do that by our presence. The light workers coming into the marketplace and sharing their presence and patting people on the back, touching them, or, saying how, taking from building a bridge, taking what they are saying, which has that compassionate element, and reinforcing them for it.
Yes.
And letting them know you see them for it, because that gives them courage. Because don't forget, their soul being is asking for the same of them. This is why there's such a fight. They're so afraid, because they're having to face so much in themselves. And we know how tough that is. Yeah, so the white people are going to, when they find out what's happened, they're going to be very angry. And we have to understand they're angry, but we get out of the way.
Yes.
We get out of the way because otherwise we put ourselves in danger. But they have to express that, because there's a recrimination wanting revenge before the realization, well, I chose that.
Yes. Yeah.
So I have a vision. I had it when I was 18 years old, and it's just grown and developed of what I want to create, something, if you like, in physicality. And it's a university or college. I call it the College of Creative Self-Empowerment. And it's an educational institution, not really an institution, but it's a community which will be on a piece of land which is large, and will have the whole work, so people can come in and get a diploma of creative self-empowerment, but may also make available grants. Those who show themselves, as it were, and have the longing and the compassion, can choose to go in to build sanctuaries in each town, and or inventions that have, or anything that has to do with enhancing our life, and get grants to be able to do that. That's part of the whole system. So it has an outreach.
Yeah.
The outreach is determined by the individual. However, I understand, I mean, I make a stipulation that people coming in there must have no agenda.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So the teachers have no agenda apart from sharing and encouraging their students to find their own pathway.
Yes,
So it's got to be a
absolutely.
very open type of system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand that what's going to come, the students come, may bring things that we hadn't totally thought of or expected. And that's great. That
Yeah.
we provide an opportunity for them to explore and expand and to get the knowledge, the understanding, and the contact, which helps them fulfill their longing, but whose outreach is for the community, that it has a consequence for the community.
Right. In one town.
Yeah, it's like a one town, only very, very small. But I have this now. I could think of all the ins and outs about it and want to control it. I know I can't.
No.
It may be my vision to start with, but how it will manifest will be determined by all the people involved.
Of course, yes.
And my forte is to encourage.
Yes.
For people to see the possibilities in where they want to go, not rather than me, as our systems do. They criticize and judge everything and take it down to its minute, so that it's bound before it even starts. This is the opposite. It is, you want to fly, here's some tools to help you fly.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yes, taking it from that point and bringing it way back out again.
Yeah. And it's in God's hands, not any one person's hands.
Yes.
And that spirit, keeping that spirit, so that when it goes into the community, that's what that develops.
Absolutely. Yeah. How beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, they're probably, a similar vision is probably held all around the world. And there were different versions of these sorts of developments that are really in the minds of men and women and in their hearts. So it's coming, folks.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we all have a path.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Just going to say the same thing. It really is, isn't it?
It
It is exciting coming home to ourselves.
Absolutely. And we're all in it together.
Yeah.
And with the company of heaven, it's vast. They're part of it. And the star beings.
Yes.
They're waiting for us to make the choice. The choices. And show the choices. And they'll be in like flame.
Yes, absolutely.
What a beautiful, beautiful time this has been. I've just been in the flow of the love within this last hour, and
absolutely.
And yes, I'm in gratitude and love. Thank you, Nicky. Thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you.
We are infinite in possibility.
Yeah, we are.
I have just been soaking it up. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Nicky. Honestly, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, beautiful sisters. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Us
Thank
being
you.
together.
All the very best.
Thank you and bless you both.
Lots
Bless
and lots
you.
of love.
Yeah.